Opinion Operation Silent Hammer: How U.S. crushed Iran's nuclear backbone in a single night. In the early hours of June 22, under the obsidian veil of an Iranian night sky, the rumble that shattered the silence wasn't an earthquake, nor a rogue missile test. It was the unmistakable echo of America's return to high-stakes preemptive warfare. Without warning and under a tightly sealed cloak of military secrecy, the United States launched a strategic airstrike that not only caught Tehran off guard, but stunned much of the world. In less than an hour, three of Iran's most fortified nuclear facilities, Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan, were either reduced to rubble or rendered inoperable by a mix of stealth bombers, submarine-launched cruise missiles, and the world's most powerful non-nuclear penetrating bomb. Fordow, buried deep beneath the mountains near Qom, and once considered immune to conventional air power, was directly targeted by the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, a 30,000-pound behemoth that had never before been used in combat. Simultaneously, waves of Tomahawk cruise missiles, launched from U.S. submarines in the Persian Gulf and Arabian Sea, neutralized command centers, radar installations, and power grids surrounding the Natanz and Isfahan complexes, each a crucial link in Iran's nuclear fuel cycle. While official statements from the Pentagon described the mission as a limited but decisive tactical operation, the implications were anything but limited. For the first time since the covert cyber campaign known as Stuxnet over a decade ago, the U.S. had physically and unambiguously intervened in Iran's nuclear progression with destructive force, and without any publicly declared congressional authorization. What's even more astonishing than the speed and precision of the strike was its message that no matter how deeply a nation buries its ambitions in concrete, in diplomacy, or in delay, Washington retains the will and the means to dig them out. This wasn't a war declaration. It was a surgical dismemberment of a decades-old nuclear program televised in the aftermath, though invisible in execution. Yet beneath the surface of this operation lies an intricate web of regional politics, clandestine intelligence sharing, and silent betrayals. Reports are now emerging of quiet coordination with Gulf allies, and even whispers of Pakistan's passive support through signal intelligence relays and access corridors, moves that, if confirmed, would shatter Islamabad's fragile ties with Tehran and redraw power dynamics across South Asia. The attack wasn't merely about bombs and bunkers. It was a geopolitical thunderclap, a cold, calculated, and precisely engineered shock meant to neutralize not just infrastructure, but intent. And as the dust settles over Iran's shattered centrifuges and scorched tunnels, one question looms larger than the destruction itself. Was this the end of Iran's nuclear ambition, or just the beginning of a darker, more dangerous chapter? Attacks occurred in the early hours of June 22, 2025, IRST June 21, 7 p.m. ET, timed to minimize civilian exposure and take advantage of night vision and stealth capabilities. Nanan: three key facilities were struck: Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Selection was based on their roles in uranium enrichment critical within Iran's nuclear infrastructure. Nanan: the goal: obliterate Iran's uranium enrichment capability, a critical milestone toward nuclear weapons. The U.S. stressed on precision destruction, signaling intention to limit escalation while removing a clear proliferation threat. GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator Monananwi: the Monanan Tomahawk cruise missile as Nanan combined effect. The Tomahawk's degraded defenses and crippled key structures, setting the stage for the MOPS and reducing collateral damage. Nanan: Fordow fuel enrichment plant, Nanan Natanz nuclear facility, Nanan Isfahan nuclear technology centre, Nanan strategic calculus, Natanz short to midterm impact, Nanan strategic deterrent, diplomatic pressure, Nanan risk of nuclear breakout shift, Nanan regional ripple effects, Natanz likely retaliation escalation. Nanan: while initial reports focus on US-Israel coordination, Pakistan's role raises critical questions: possible logistics and support, Nanan SIGINT and intelligence flow, Natanz allegations of betrayal, Nanan Islamabad's likely approach, Natanz US domestic and legal impact, Nanan international law and global response, Nanan broader regional arms race, Nanan Iran's resilience, Nanan Uzbekistan Natanz. The US strike on Iran's nuclear facilities is a watershed moment, marking a juncture where policy, military capability, and strategic messaging merged to physically dismantle Iran's enrichment infrastructure. The use of GBU-57 MOPS and stealth B-2 bombers underscored Trump and his intent: while targeting Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan removed key nodes critical to weapons-grade enrichment. Moving forward, regional dynamics are dramatically altered. Iran must decide between clandestine renewal or capitulation. Gulf states reassess their security doctrines. Pakistan potentially recalibrates its strategic partnerships, and international non-proliferation architecture is poised for upheaval. Swipe left for next video. Most importantly, the incident raises severe questions about preemptive military force, sovereignty of nuclear-capable states, and the unchecked authority of the executive in deploying strategic military power without congressional approval. Group capt MJ Augustine Vinod vs MRETD tweets at Mjavino. Views expressed in the above piece are personal and solely that of the author. They do not necessarily reflect NEWS18's views. Latest blogs.